one night. Just got out and I guess just followed my trail to the campsite. And I'm laying there over on my side and I hear these steps in the leaves. I'm thinking, oh no, it's a wolf. Now there are no wolves in Greensboro, North Carolina, but when you're a teenager, these things scare you. And I'm laying there with my back turned to whatever it is that's coming, and she stuck that old cold nose right on my neck, just to make sure it was me. Not a sound, nothing, just her little feet on the dry leaves, and runs up and shoved that cold. I screamed. Had a little sheet over me. I just threw the sheet and screamed. And of course, the dog started barking like, "What is it? What is it?" The dog didn't know, but she scared me half to death. She starts barking. Oh, 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 oh. Like, what's going on? That woke everybody up. Shepherds on the field in the middle of the night. The middle of the night can be a scary time. I delivered milk for a church. Told you this story. Church couldn't afford a youth pastor, so I delivered milk from about 3 in the morning till about 10:30 in the morning. And I walked into a lot of dark garages to deliver that milk. It's home delivery. Never will forget that lady that spoke to me in the dark and scared me half to death. I walked in this dark garage and opened up the milk box, put it in. She's standing right there, but the lights are off in her house. And she's standing behind a screen door, but I can't see anybody standing there. It's pitch black. There was no moon that night. There was nothing. And I walk in this dark garage. I've got a little bit of a flashlight, but it just illuminates right here. And I didn't go into people's garages looking around anyway. I'm just finding the milk box and get out of there. And I walked in, put the milk in. The lady standing right there. She's not 3 feet from me. Says, "Good morning." And people aren't up at 3 o'clock in the morning talking to people. Good morning. Oh, hey, good morning, ma'am. You just give me a minute. My heart is just about to come completely out of my chest here. And she was just, her husband had left her. Her son had just left rehabilitation for drugs. The woman just couldn't sleep. She's up walking around and just so desperate for someone to talk to. We stood there. I never saw the lady's face, never saw her. And we stood there and talked for about 20 minutes. And I tried to give her some verses, some hope in Christ for some of the things going on in her life. Didn't get her name, never saw her face. But the middle of the night can be a scary place. I went into one garage, found the milk box, put the milk in the box, and just as I'm turning around, I heard a growl. Not just any growl. From the sound of the growl, it was about a 600-pound dog, about 8 feet tall. It was a deep, resonant, I think, oh, I'm dead. They won't find my body for what's left of my body. They won't find for days. The dog will drag me around back and bury me in a hole somewhere. I thought, this is it. This is it. And I had this little metal grate, and I sort of walked in front of me. Nice doggy. Nice doggy. And I got just about out, and I heard it again. Now it's behind me. This demon-possessed dog somewhere behind me. And I turned very quickly to ward the dog off, tripped over a hose in the man's garage, fell flat on my back, and thought, why don't we just make it easy for the dog? Why don't we just fall down here, and get completely defenseless? This dog came up to me and licked me on the hand. He was going to eat me, but I guess when I fell down, he thought, not worth it. It was a St. Bernard. Biggest animal I've ever seen. Came at me out of the dark with a head about that wide. And the funny thing was, I had just read Sherlock Holmes' Hound of the Baskervilles about a month before that. I'm thinking, this is it. It's reincarnated. The dog is back. The night can be a scary place. On their field. Were they half asleep? I don't know.